If someone disrespects you, respond like this. Have you ever walked away from a conversation replaying every word in your head? Someone made a rude comment. They dismissed your opinion. They talked down to you. Maybe they embarrassed you in front of others. And hours later, you're still thinking about it. You imagine all the things you should have said. You wish you had defended yourself better. You wish you had put them in their place. But here's something most people never learn. The strongest response to disrespect is not always the loudest one. It's not always the quickest comeback. It's not always proving someone wrong. True power reveals itself in how you respond when your emotions are being tested. Because the moment someone disrespects you, they aren't just speaking to you. They're challenging your self-control. They're testing your confidence. They're trying to pull you into a reaction. And if you react exactly the way they expect, they win. Today, let's talk about a different approach. A response that protects your dignity, preserves your peace, and earns genuine respect. If someone disrespects you, respond like this. First, don't react immediately. This alone can change everything. Most people operate on impulse. Someone insults them. They insult back. Someone raises their voice. They raise theirs higher. Someone attacks. They attack harder. And suddenly the situation becomes a battle of emotions rather than a discussion of facts. But emotionally intelligent people understand something important. The first feeling you experience is not always the feeling you should act on. Anger arrives quickly. Wisdom takes a moment. When someone disrespects you, pause. Take a breath. Remain calm. Not because you're weak. Not because you're afraid. But because you're refusing to let another person control your behavior. The moment someone can dictate your emotions, they gain power over you. And power should never be handed away so easily. A calm response communicates confidence. A reckless reaction communicates insecurity. Remember this, anyone can lose control. Very few people can keep it. Second, don't take every insult personally. This is one of the hardest lessons in life. Because when someone treats us badly, our instinct is to assume the problem is us. We think, what did I do wrong? Why don't they respect me? Why are they treating me this way? But often, disrespect says more about the other person than it says about you. Hurt people hurt people. Insecure people criticize others. Unhappy people spread negativity. People who feel powerless often try to make others feel small. Think about it. Someone who is truly confident doesn't need to humiliate anyone. Someone who genuinely respects themselves doesn't spend their time tearing others down. Someone at peace doesn't go around creating conflict wherever they go. Their behavior is revealing their character, not your worth. This doesn't mean you should excuse bad behavior, but it does mean you should stop letting someone else's immaturity define how you see yourself. Never allow another person's opinion to become your identity. Third, master the power of silence. Silence is often misunderstood. Many people think silence means weakness. It doesn't. Sometimes silence is the most powerful statement you can make. Imagine someone is trying to provoke you. They want an argument. They want a reaction. They want drama. And instead, you simply look at them calmly. You don't explain. You don't defend. You don't fight. You don't chase their approval. You remain composed. What happens? They lose the control they thought they had. Silence forces people to sit with their own behavior. It removes the fuel from the fire. Not every accusation deserves a response. Not every criticism deserves your attention. Not every disrespectful person deserves access to your energy. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is absolutely nothing. Fourth, set boundaries without anger. Many people think boundaries require aggression. They don't. You don't have to yell. You don't have to threaten. You don't have to become disrespectful yourself. You simply need clarity. A boundary sounds like this. I don't appreciate being spoken to that way. Let's continue this conversation respectfully. If you're going to insult me, I'm leaving. That behavior is not acceptable. Simple, direct, calm. Notice something important. You're not attacking them. You're not trying to win. You're simply defining what you will and will not tolerate. Strong people don't control others. They control access to themselves. And when people realize their behavior has consequences, they either improve or remove themselves. Either way, you win. Fifth, stop trying to convince everyone to respect you. This lesson can save years of frustration. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will value you. And that's okay. One of the biggest mistakes people make is spending their lives chasing validation. They constantly try to prove their worth. They try harder, work harder, explain more, defend themselves endlessly, all because they're hoping someone will finally say, "You matter." But your value doesn't increase when someone recognizes it. And it doesn't decrease when someone fails to. A diamond remains valuable even if someone mistakes it for a rock. Likewise, your worth remains intact whether others acknowledge it or not. The moment you stop seeking respect from everyone, you become much harder to manipulate. Because people can only control what you're desperate to receive. Sixth, respond with questions instead of emotions. This is a powerful psychological strategy. When someone says something disrespectful, most people react emotionally. Instead, become curious. Ask questions. For example, what makes you say that? Can you explain what you mean? Why do you think that's appropriate? These questions do something interesting. They shift the pressure back onto the other person. Now they must explain themselves. Now they must justify their behavior. Many people speak carelessly because they never expect to be challenged calmly. Questions expose weak arguments. Questions reveal hidden motives. Questions create awareness. And awareness often ends disrespect faster than confrontation ever could. Seventh, never argue with people committed to misunderstanding you. This is one of the most important lessons you'll ever learn. Some people don't want clarity. They want conflict. Some people don't want truth. They want victory. Some people aren't listening to understand. They're listening to attack. And no amount of explanation will change that. You could provide evidence. You could explain perfectly. You could speak with complete honesty. And they would still distort your words. Why? Because their goal isn't understanding. Their goal is winning. When you recognize this, stop wasting your energy. Not every battle deserves your participation. Walking away from a pointless argument is not surrender. It's wisdom. Eighth, let your actions speak louder than your defense. When people disrespect you, there's a temptation to explain yourself endlessly, to defend every accusation, to justify every decision, to prove every critic wrong. But think about the most successful, confident people you've ever met. Do they spend all day defending themselves? Usually not. They focus on their lives, their goals, their work, their growth, and eventually their results speak for them. Words can be debated. Results are harder to argue with. If someone doubts you, succeed. If someone mocks you, improve. If someone underestimates you, keep moving forward. Your life becomes your response, and that's far more powerful than any comeback. Ninth, recognize when disrespect is a pattern. One rude comment may be a bad day. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone has moments they're not proud of. But repeated disrespect is different. Repeated disrespect reveals a pattern. And patterns require decisions. If someone consistently belittles you, dismisses you, manipulates you, mocks you, or ignores your boundaries, pay attention. Because what you tolerate repeatedly becomes the standard others believe they can maintain. You teach people how to treat you, not through words, through what you consistently allow. Respect yourself enough to walk away from environments where disrespect is normal. Whether it's a friendship, a relationship, a workplace, or a social circle, your peace is too valuable to sacrifice for acceptance. 10th, build a life that isn't dependent on anyone's approval. This is the ultimate solution, because the deeper issue isn't usually the disrespect itself. It's the emotional wound it touches. When we desperately need approval, criticism hurts more. When we depend on validation, rejection feels devastating. When our self-worth comes from others, disrespect becomes unbearable. But when you build genuine confidence, everything changes. Confidence doesn't mean believing you're better than everyone. Confidence means knowing your value even when others don't see it. It means trusting yourself. It means respecting yourself. It means understanding who you are. When your self-respect becomes stronger than your need for approval, people lose the ability to emotionally control you. And that freedom is priceless. Now here's something most people never consider. Sometimes the best response to disrespect is distance. Not revenge. Not confrontation. Distance. You don't have to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't have to remain available to people who repeatedly mistreat you. You don't have to keep giving access to those who abuse it. Distance creates clarity. Distance protects peace. Distance restores perspective. And often the people who disrespect you most are the people who benefited most from your lack of boundaries. Remember that. Some people become upset when they can no longer take advantage of you. Let them be upset. Your responsibility is not to make everyone comfortable. Your responsibility is to protect your well-being. Here's another truth. The way you respond to disrespect reveals your level of emotional maturity. Anyone can react. Anyone can explode. Anyone can become defensive. But can you remain calm? Can you maintain dignity? Can you protect your peace? Can you stay true to your values even when someone else abandons theirs? That's the challenge. Because your character is not measured during easy moments. It's measured during difficult ones. And every act of disrespect gives you a choice. You can become what hurt you, or you can rise above it. One path creates regret. The other creates strength. Never forget this. People will remember how you handled pressure. They will remember how you handled criticism. They will remember how you handled conflict. And most importantly, you will remember. Every time you choose self-control over impulsiveness, you strengthen your character. Every time you choose dignity over drama, you strengthen your confidence. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you strengthen your future. So the next time someone disrespects you, don't rush to prove yourself. Don't rush to fight. Don't rush to react. Pause. Stay calm. Set boundaries. Protect your energy. Know your worth. And remember, the goal is not to win the argument. The goal is not to destroy the other person. The goal is not to get revenge. The goal is to leave the situation with your self-respect intact. Because in the end, the people who truly win in life are not the ones who have the best comebacks. They are the ones who refuse to let negativity change who they are. They understand a simple truth. Other people's behavior belongs to them. Your response belongs to you. Choose a response that reflects your strength. Choose a response that reflects your values. Choose a response that protects your peace. And when someone disrespects you, respond in a way that reminds both them and yourself exactly who you are. A person who knows their worth. A person who controls their emotions. A person who refuses to trade dignity for temporary satisfaction. And that is a level of power that no insult can ever take away.